Hey, so you'll have to forgive the very sleepy, not awesome looking late vlog here. This is our last day in Japan, and I am very, very tired. I'm very, very glad that I don't have to be up to go walking tomorrow for the first day in 2 weeks. I can sleep in a little bit. I'll probably get up and go get some breakfast with a couple other tour group members, and then come back here and leisurely shower and get my stuff packed. Hotel checkout in the morning is 11 a.m. So I'll have to get all my stuff at least ready by then, and then I can store my suitcase with the hotel. And then my shuttle leaves at about 2 p.m. or so for Kansai International Airport in Osaka, which is about an hour and a half ride. So I'll have a couple hours to just kind of wander in between 11 and 2 or so. I'll probably stay mostly to this area anyway. There's no major sites left that I really want to see at this point, but I can at least just wander shops or whatever. So yeah, today was fun. We started out at the Kiyomizu Temple, which was unexpectedly really cool. It is a Buddhist temple, so lots of statues and, wait, was it Buddhist? I don't remember, maybe it was Shinto. Regardless, Kiyomizu Temple, it was really neat. They have like a fountain there of water that is supposed to taste particularly good, and they have 3 separate streams of water coming down in a fountain. You'll see it in my pictures below, and you're supposed to pick one stream of water to drink from. Now, our tour guide, or tour itinerary says that one is asking for wisdom, to gain wisdom. If you drink from another one, is asking for a long life. Another one is asking for avoidance of illness. Our tour guide said that actually it's love, longevity, and success. So I don't know which it actually is. Maybe there are different versions. But you're only supposed to drink one because the gods will not be happy if you drink from all 3, because that's seen as greedy. You have to pick one trait that you want. We actually didn't get to drink from it because there was a huge long line, but we got to dip our hands in it, just in the pool. So I guess we didn't really get to pick. We just kind of take whatever blessing we get, I suppose. But the temple itself was beautiful. We all got to ring this gong. You know, it was a Buddhist temple, I remember, because our guide was talking about how she would pray there, but we would not necessarily because she was Buddhist. We all got to ring this gong, which was kind of fun. I was afraid I was going to hit it too soft, so I hauled off and smacked the shit out of it and made a whole bunch of noise, and it was a little bit embarrassing. So we got to wander around there and see that fountain where the water was coming from that people get to drink from. What else was at that temple? It was just a really pretty temple, honestly. Apparently there's a jackhammer going on tonight. There's a construction thing going on like right across the street, so tonight could be a really fun night. So you might hear the jackhammer in the background at 12 o'clock at night. So from Kiyomizu, we just kind of wandered around Higashiyama, which is just that particular section of Kyoto. Lots of little shops, very old streets, which are very, very beautiful. We walked through a Studio Ghibli store, which was quite cute. Lots of Miyazaki souvenirs and little Totoros and stuff. And like nobody in the tour group had heard of any of this. I was very scandalized. I was the only one who really knew what any of this meant. But it was neat to get to wander through there and see the little Studio Ghibli characters. Our guide was super excited about it too. And so we continued to wander the little back streets. We kind of accidentally ran into 2 women who were dressed as Maiko, but were not Maiko. Maiko being the geisha in training. So apparently it's a thing, at least in Kyoto. I haven't seen it anywhere else in Japan, but I assume you could probably find it elsewhere as well. You can pay like a pretty large fee, and these different studios have rental kimonos, and they have people on staff who will do your hair and your makeup, or give you a wig in the style of a geisha or a Maiko, which, although apparently in Kyoto they call them geckos, not geishas. because the geisha is kind of associated with like prostitution. So maikos are the geikos in training, and then geiko is the adult geisha. Anyway, so they have these shops, and yeah, you can pay this fee. They'll rent you the kimono, and they'll do your hair and makeup for you, and then you can just go around for a while, just pretending to be a geiko or a maiko. And according to our guide, you can actually get some discounts certain places if you're in that getup, and so maybe there's a little bit of incentive to it. But anyway, we ran into two women who had paid that fee and were walking around, kind of, I guess, cosplaying as maikos, and they were very kind about it and let us get pictures with them, which was fun. And so we kept walking and went to lunch, which we had a very delicious lunch. It was a Western lunch with a delicious like pumpkin squash soup. It was fantastic. Very nice little restaurant. And from there we wandered through the Gion district, which is a very, very old district. Very beautiful old buildings. You can see some of the buildings where the maikos live. And they have like their own like panels in front of the doors to represent their names, and so that was quite cool to actually see where the maikos, you know, they're still a district, and it's still a thing, it's still a profession. We still have a sisterhood where a number of them will live together and support each other as they work to become geikos. So that was really cool. And from there, we, after we finished walking through Gion, we went to Fushimi Inari Shrine, which I had really looked forward to. That was kind of my big thing that I wanted to see in Kyoto, was Fushimi Inari Shrine. If anybody has seen the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, there's a scene where Chiyo is running through a whole bunch of red torii gates, and it's a beautiful cinematography. It's a very striking scene, but that's where it is in Kyoto. It's all those torii gates, and it was just as beautiful in person as I would have expected it to be. It was quite cool to see, and apparently the guardian animal of the Fushimi Inari Shrine is the fox, and so lots of fox statues everywhere. So I've got some pictures of those. And they'd have a fox on either side of the gate, and true to Japanese form, one fox would have the mouth open, one fox would have the mouth closed, open to represent the beginning, closed to represent the end. And frequently one fox had a thing of rice in his mouth, because it used to be that Fushimi Inari Shrine was for farmers and agriculture, and it's now business, but it used to be the farmers, and so the fox would carry the rice in its mouth to represent the shrine being there as the guardian of farmers. It was absolutely beautiful to see in person. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to see the Fushimi Inari Shrine. So we wrapped up and then headed back to our hotel and kind of got briefed on how tomorrow is going to go, because we all go our own ways as we figure out how to get home, or some people have a couple extra days that they're hanging out in Japan without the tour group. And then we went to the Sayonara dinner, which was delightful. It was actually on the 6th floor of Yodobashi Camera, which I've mentioned is a huge department store with every appliance you could ever imagine. On the 6th floor, they have a food court, and so we went to a tempura place where you pick out the raw foods that you want, and they just have this big buffet of raw foods. And then you roll them in the batter yourself, and then dip them in the breading yourself, and then at your table there's a little deep fryer, and so you get to deep fry your own tempura. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I also had a chocolate fountain so that you could do chocolate fondue as your dessert, and some ice cream as well. So the whole experience was just very delightful. It was a very nice wrap-up dinner. Unfortunately, the owner of the company could not show at the last minute, which I thought was interesting given how difficult this tour group has been. I really anticipated that he would prioritize being here to kind of do damage control and kind of talk to some of our tour group members about how dissatisfied they were with some of their experiences. Yeah, and apparently he did not prioritize us, so that was interesting. He'll probably be getting some fun emails from some people. I will probably compose one myself, so we'll see. But so here ends my tour in Japan. I have some free time tomorrow morning before I have to catch my shuttle at 2 to go to the airport. So like I said, I'll probably wander a little bit and just kind of say my goodbyes to Japan. It has been fun. Even if the tour group was maybe not what I was looking for exactly, Japan was still incredible, and I would come back in a heartbeat, especially to spend more time in Tokyo. Tokyo's amazing. but I finally got to see this country that I have wanted to see for so very long. I'm kind of sad to say goodbye tomorrow, but at the same time, I'm ready to go home and be with people that I love and see my sweetheart and see my dogs, and enjoy being in my house again, and also not having a language barrier to deal with all day, every day. It gets a little bit exhausting. So yeah, it's been a very, very fun trip. Oh, this evening I got to take a couple other tour members over to the Avanti Mall and help them find some multi-flavored Kit Kats, which are a thing in Tokyo. They have all kinds of, or in Japan rather, they have all kinds of different flavored Kit Kats. It's a thing here. And so they wanted to bring back all kinds of different flavors of Kit Kats to Canada. So I helped them find their Kit Kats, which was fun. Yeah, I think that's it. I will mention at the first temple we went to today, the Kiyomizu Temple, they had a section or a separate pagoda for pregnant women. But it was way far away from the rest of the temple. You had to walk quite a bit through the forest. We could see it from where we were, but it was like off in the forest. You'll see the pictures. And our guide explained that that was because exercise is seen as healthy for pregnant women and for babies. You should exercise. And so that's why the temple was far away, to encourage the pregnant women to walk and get the exercise for their babies. And I totally want to print out a picture of this and show it to some of my patients to convince them to get exercising. I thought it was priceless. It was a fantastic idea. Make the pregnant woman walk a little bit farther and get some exercise in. Also today, an interesting happening was, I don't remember exactly where we were when this happened, but this was the first tour guide to notice my zero gauge ears here. And I knew before I came to Japan that they were unique. In Japan, it's not a thing that they do, as opposed to the United States. You pretty commonly see people with stretched earlobes. In Japan, it's really not a thing. But nobody had commented on mine so far. Now, granted, I wore my hair down a number of days. But the past 3 days or so, I've just been so tired, I just really didn't care. And so I've had my hair up. And today was the first day somebody finally took notice and said something. And my tour guide was just really fascinated. Unfortunately, she's very respectful and didn't touch them. That's been a problem in the past, where people have touched my ears without my permission, which is a little creepy. But she was very fascinated. Initially, she thought it was glass. And she was really like getting up like close and looking at it without touching me again, and just asked, if it was glass, and said, "Oh no, it's just a hole I can just see through." And I explained to her, "Yeah, that's what it is." And she was absolutely amazed, and she loved it. Japan aesthetics are important, and sometimes they like to set up sculptures, things so that you can see through them. And I think that's kind of how she perceived it. Was you can see through it. You can see, you can look through it to see a different perspective of things, on the other side of it. I think that's kind of how she saw it. So she was fascinated. And actually, at the end of the sayonara dinner, she came up to me and called me such a beautiful lady, and talked again about my earrings and how she loved that she could see through them. And I offered to let her to take a picture if she wanted, and she said, no, it'll just be in my memory, this wonderful memory of this beautiful lady and these ears that I could see through. It was very cool to see somebody who was not familiar with this and did not see it as, oh, that's a weird thing. She saw a beauty in it that I hadn't even thought of before. So that was quite cool. Our tour guide was amazing. These last couple of days, she was really impressive. So yeah, I think those are all the fun stories I can think of from today. It was a good day. I loved getting to see Fushimi Inari Shrine. It's apparently, you could apparently, there's 10,000 gates. So you can walk for quite a while. It's like a 2-hour walk. You can hike up the mountain and back down. And I really wish I could have done that. But I don't really have the equipment on me to do that, or the right shoes, and or the time to do it tomorrow. So maybe on a future trip to Japan, I'll prioritize Tokyo and Kyoto and getting the longer things like that done that require a little bit more endurance. So yeah, here ends my trip to Japan. My next entry will probably be from an airport, which is kind of exciting. So, I have prayed at many shrines in the past couple days, many temples in the past couple days, and my prayer has consistently been for, please don't let my airplane fall out of the sky. I'm down with that. We can just keep my airplane in the air. That'd be great. So, I'll be back in the States in just a day or two, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to see everybody, and I miss everybody, and please keep me in your thoughts as I travel, that my plane does not fall out of the sky, and that I have safe travels. I'll see everybody soon. I've missed everybody, And Hampton, I love you and I can't wait to see you here really soon. You guys take care. Good night.